Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be in the world. It is a great pleasure for me to be here with you today. I am Andrea Zenz, and I'm one of our product managers here at Standard Imaging. On behalf of myself and my colleagues, I want to thank all of you for attending Astro and joining us today. I'd like to welcome you to I believe this is the last of our installment in this webinar series. Just a note, this webinar is being recorded and will be available for viewing on our website shortly. Attendees are in listen-only mode, but you are encouraged to type in questions you might have, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end of the presentation. And just a little bit about Standard Imaging in case you are not familiar with us. We are based in Middleton, Wisconsin, which is a suburb of our capital city, Madison. Standard Imaging was founded in 1989, and from our humble beginnings, we now design and manufacture a full suite of QA solutions for radiation therapists, and we are pleased to be your partner now and in the future to meet those QA challenges that arise for you. That was a question, which button works best? And who is it that's talking to you today? Well, here I am. I think since we can't be there in person, which I so wish we could be, I do want to put a face to a name for you all. I've been with Standard Imaging for 15 years, most of that time in one or another sales roles within the company. It's been a year since I moved over to product management. There are several products and product lines under my purview, including our QA StereoChecker for machine QA for the Cyberknife, mainly with Cyberknife in mind, but also delving into some things for Linux. Stereotactic phantoms in general. I also manage our QA management system, QA Pilot, and our brachytherapy solutions. And these days, my art room is now my home office, and when I'm not working for Standard Imaging, I enjoy making kaleidoscopes and jewelry and doing that with as much upcycled materials as I can. So that's about me. I suppose we should now get down to business and talk about what we're here for today, which really is to talk about our QA StereoChecker device as part of our complete Cyberknife QA solution. And show you some of what version 2.0 looks like. So for those of you who are not familiar, the StereoChecker is this device that you see on screen. It is fast. It allows you to really very quickly, filmlessly, have fast and accurate setup because we're using the target localization system to do so. There's no manual manipulation of the robot. Don't have to attach anything to the collimator. Tests are performed in clinical mode, so you know that they things passing with StereoChecker that translates directly to your patient treatments. Very high resolution, high speed. It was designed by physicists for physicists and therapists to use. It is portable and compact. So knowing that Accuray has a film solution, why did we even delve into making a device that could replace that for people? Well, time is money. We all realize that. In the age of COVID, get in, get out, get on with your day is ever more important to keep people safe. So we looked at the frequency of the recommended QA from Accuray, the time it takes to do that with film, and said we know that there's got to be a better solution out there. Even though certain things are recommended monthly or quarterly, keeping in mind that this is stereotactic treatments, which is high dose rates in single to few fractions, that is a pretty daunting task to ensure patient safety throughout that treatment. So, why do something infrequently when you can do it daily very quickly and have great, test your system rigorously and know that what you're doing when you're treating your patients is you're doing it safely. It's also a question of being able to save some time with film. A physicist is really the person that has to do it and analyze it and really understand what's going on. With this device, it is simplified greatly so that therapists could do that in the morning. Again, time is money. We're all looking to save money when and where we can. So this is a device that ultimately will help you do that. And with quicker testing, we know that that means more machine availability, that's better patient satisfaction, that's better uptime, more patients can ultimately be treated. There's less patient inconvenience. These are important things as we are all striving to deliver better, faster, efficient treatments to our patients. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, what is the current recommendation and how StereoChecker does that better for you. The current method for the iris, again, film-based. You've got an attachment to the collimator. It takes up to a couple of hours, and it's also not done in clinical mode. When you're using the StereoChecker, when you purchase the device, we come on site to, of course, do the setup and training, help you create those QA patient plans that you're utilizing daily to complete your work, so that really the plan is there. You can treat and get all of your results within those 5 minutes for all of your iris diameters. Instead of knocking off 1 or 2 in a week, you can get them all done every single day and trend that data over time, which is very important. When you're talking about AQA, which is a trademark acronym from Accuray, we replace that with what we call the PANDA test, the Position and Delivery Accuracy QA test. Again, here there's a specialized phantom that requires film, not using clinical pathways. There's always uncertainty associated with user variation. Once you have your device set up once, because you're using the treatment localization system, you're not moving that panel, right? So again, you can run your plan very quickly. You're detecting those translational offsets. That common setup, of course, saves you time. You don't have to go in and out of the vault and change anything there. For MLC QA, again, they are using film. They have a couple of different tests. The garden fence test is currently recommended only monthly, but with great ease, you can do that with the StereoChecker instead. Again, you don't have to have any attachment to the collimator, and you don't have to use 2 different softwares to get any type of analysis out of that film image. With ours, you're again acquiring that plan or delivering that plan very quickly, I should say. The garden fence is quantitative. We're doing an absolute leaf position deviation detection to within 0.2 millimeter for each and every leaf. Testing against all 4 accurate criteria. If you're a Cyberknife user, you know that there are a couple of overall leaf bank tests, as well as 2 separate individual leaf tests. We're giving you results and trending the data for all of that in StereoChecker 2.0, I should say. So Picket Fence test, it isn't currently recommended by Accuray as anything more than a qualitative test. So we can, of course, acquire that image. We do not currently analyze that. It is on the roadmap to add analysis to that, so that you're getting a couple of different ways that you can check your MLCs in a quantitative, trendable manner. So, and then the monthly QA, this is an image, again, taken from a Cyberknife, but you can also do single field analysis for your Linac, excuse me, and trend and track that data. Now, we do call it manual or monthly QA, excuse me, but even though it's called monthly QA, it can be done ad hoc at any time that you feel that you need to test something and get your inline and cross-line profiles, excuse me. And again, it's a one-click workflow once you have created that plan. With the click to acquire the StereoChecker, we are acquiring that image, we're performing the analysis on it, we're automatically adding that analysis to our trend data and report data. So what's new in 2.0? The list is enormous because it's pretty much everything. The current version that's out in the market is version 1.4. 2.0 is coming as we're entering beta testing. So we rewrote it as a web-based application. You have much more simplified workflow. We've added a SQL database. You have tabular and graphical data. I'll show you that in the next slide a little bit. You have a couple of different ways where you get to see summary results. Here you get the daily summary of your daily QA results. When you're looking at the trending, you get an overall what happened for daily tests within the past 30 days, for monthly tests over the past 12 months. We added the Iris Panda test. We now do full inline and cross-line profiles for those single field analysis in the monthly QA. We've added, so you see this is a white background, this is a dark background that's managed with a button up on the menu, the top bar menu. It's fantastic. There are people who like the low light conditions, like a darker background. Other people, some like me with my old eyes, sometimes really appreciate the white background. But we've literally rewritten everything to make it faster, more convenient, really streamlined the workflow, and the export as CSV or your DICOM images. We also did a complete rewrite of the MLC module. In the current version, you just get an indication of whether a leaf position is failing or not. Whereas here, we are, like I said, we're testing against all 4 criteria. We have trending for both the banks and as well as all individual leaves. We're reporting, like I said, all of those offsets, alerts and errors. And again, with the graphing of the individual leaves by segment, we have the 5 graph lines for the 5 different segments. Here they all check to be seen, but if you wanted to be able to really clearly see what's going on with one particular segment that maybe you seem to have an issue with, you can unclick others so that you're looking at one trend line instead of all 5 on the graph. So a lot of things that have been done with the rewrite of 2.0. It's a fantastic improvement. It's a workflow simplification that truly is going to add efficiency to your QA that you're doing with the StereoChecker. Now, I did mention, I did mention that the StereoChecker really is just one aspect of Cyberknife QA. Yes, you can do a lot with the panel, but there are other things, devices that we offer in a Cyberknife QA kit that people are like very much and are still, using very frequently with their machines. But I will say that both the StereoChecker and the Cyberknife QA kit can be purchased through Accuray. We are in their price book for that. Or you can go through your international distributors for those of you that are international, or through your U.S. SI representative to get quotations directly from us. That's a personal choice or an administrative choice from your clinic. We love to work both ways. Whatever is simplest for you, the customer, is what we want to do for you. So in our Cyberknife QA kit, here on the left, you see the stereotactic dose verification phantom in what we call the top hat or the cradle and the top hat. This is to lift the phantom off the couch so that if you have any brain lesions, posterior brain lesions that you're trying to test, you can do so with film or ion chamber with this phantom and not set your robot on any type of collision course. We have a QA slab that has target and avoidance structures that are a very good test of your treatment planning system. Can it do that? Can it deliver to those extremely tight tolerances? This is something that was developed in collaboration with Accuray because we wanted to be sure that we were doing an excellent test of the Cyberknife system. Our PIPS Pro software allows you to test your KV Imager QA quality. That is something that's recommended in TG 142, of course, Imager and Machine QA as part of Imager and Machine QA. We, of course, have our holder to keep it at that proper 45-degree angle. PIPS Pro does very nice analysis and has proper setup for the Cyberknife system. When you're looking at detectors for your stereotactic system, these are very important as well. We offer our X-Radin A26 micropoint chamber, which is made of entirely low-Z materials, which allows you to get a predictable response curve with this detector with a spherical spot size, which is also great when you're wanting to do things when you want to use a scanning tank, for example, to have that uniform volume. And again, it's waterproof like all of our X-Radin detectors, not a problem there at all. And then we have our scintillator. The top version here is the W2, which with the Max SD, which really is the one we recommend, again, if you want to use in a 3D water scanning system. It doesn't perturb the beam. You can't even really even see the fiber until you go down to about 40 kVp. It is water equivalent. It has a KQ of 1. And with the W2, there is a 1 by 1 millimeter fiber available to really test that fine resolution in your very small fields. The first generation of that was our W1, which has a 1 by 3 millimeter fiber. So it does make a difference whether you're setting it perpendicular or horizontal to the beam. And then again, our Supermax electrometer, which is a heck of a lot of electrometer, big bang for the buck on this one. Our customers really enjoy using that, whether you're using a Linac or the Cyberknife system. And just to mention the versatility of our nice compact stereotactic dose verification phantom, some of you may have heard it as baby blue, but it has an official name. And that is that you can set it up to be used with multiple films. You can set it up for a detector. You can use the QA slab. And we have also added lung material, again, with embedded fiducials for that nonlinear, non-coplanar isometric dose cloud for you to be able to set that up and test positional accuracy. And we have a chamber plug or detector plug, because of course you could use it for the scintillator as well. That has embedded gold fiducials is available as well, especially for those smaller fields that you might be wanting to QA. So that really does conclude my presentation today about our StereoChecker. 2.0 has a lot to offer, a lot more than I can go through in the time available for the Estro webinars today. But if I've given you a taste for wanting to see more, please reach out again to your international distributor, your US rep, or myself. We are extremely happy to set up an individual webinar for anyone who may need it. You can also go to our Estro booth. I encourage you to do that, see what else is available, lots of information about what's new, the recordings from my colleagues' webinars that they've done over the past 4 days or so. Lots of things available for you, so please do check that out. And I'll take a quick peek here to see if anybody has asked any questions. I do not see any. So with that, I guess I will wish you all a fantastic rest of your day, no matter how much of that is left for you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you ever so much for your attendance today. We really appreciate it. Bye-bye.